I'm a 37-year-old man, married to my 35-year-old wife for 15 years, and we have 2 kids, aged 13 and 10. Last month marked our wedding anniversary, and we planned a cozy celebration at home with our children. I was thrilled and had organized a heartfelt evening to honor our years together. Unbeknownst to me, my wife had her own hidden agenda for the night. The evening began smoothly. We enjoyed dinner, sliced our anniversary cake, and I presented my wife with a meaningful gift. She appeared delighted initially, but I noticed she seemed uneasy or preoccupied as the night progressed. She kept checking her phone and stepping away briefly. I assumed she might be planning a surprise for me and tried not to dwell on it. Around 8 p.m., the doorbell chimed. I wasn't expecting anyone else, so I thought it could be a neighbor or a delivery error. My wife sprang up instantly, saying, "I'll answer it," in a tone that sounded oddly enthusiastic. Curious, I followed her, with our kids tagging along, as kids do when someone's at the door. My wife opened it, and there stood a man holding a bouquet of roses and a bottle of wine. He wore a uniform-like shirt with a logo, suggesting he was a delivery person from a local service. At first, I didn't know him. He smiled and said, "Special delivery for the happy couple. Congratulations on your anniversary." It felt like a charming gesture, and I briefly thought a friend had sent us a gift or my wife had arranged something sweet. But things took a bizarre turn quickly. As he handed her the flowers, he leaned closer and murmured, "You're looking stunning tonight, darling." I was right behind my wife and immediately thought, "Darling? That's not how you address a stranger or a client, especially not with her husband and kids standing there." My wife's reaction was a dead giveaway. Her face flushed. Not the joyful kind of flush, but the guilty, caught-in-the-act kind. She let out a nervous giggle and glanced back at me and the kids. Our 13-year-old's eyes widened, clearly catching the word darling. Our 10-year-old looked puzzled and whispered, "Did he just call Mom darling?" I stepped forward, trying to stay composed. "What did you just say?" I asked the man, giving him a sharp look. He seemed to notice me for the first time. Instead of apologizing, he smirked and said, "Oh, just, confirming I got the right house." Then he added, "The beautiful lady at the door fits the description perfectly." And I swear, he winked at her. Yes, he called my wife a beautiful lady in front of me and our kids. My blood was boiling. The kids were right there, hearing this supposed delivery guy call their mother darling and beautiful lady. It was completely out of line. My 13-year-old daughter looked horrified and exclaimed, "You, what?" While my son, still confused, likely didn't fully grasp the implications. My wife tried to diffuse things quickly. She took the wine bottle and said, "Thank you, that's enough." Her voice was polite but laced with panic. She practically shoved the guy toward the door to get him out before he could say more. I stood there, torn between wanting to confront him and not wanting to lose it in front of my kids. Before I could act, the man gave a little wave and said, "Enjoy your night, gorgeous. Catch you later." Then he walked off down the driveway. I was left dumbfounded, staring after him. I closed the door and turned to my wife. The kids were still in the hallway, so I didn't want to make a scene. In the calmest voice I could manage, I told them, "Why don't you two go have some more cake in the kitchen? We'll be right there." My daughter looked like she had 1,000 questions, but she took her brother away, leaving me and my wife alone. As soon as the kids were out of earshot, I demanded, "What was that all about? Do you know that guy?" She had her back to me, fumbling with the door like she was avoiding me. "It's nothing," she said quickly. "He was just a delivery guy. Probably got the wrong address or was being too friendly. Let's not ruin the night, okay?" She tried to slip past me, but I blocked her path, not letting it slide. "He called you darling and beautiful lady? That's not how delivery people act. How would he even know you're a mom?" I whispered fiercely, mindful of the kids nearby. She crossed her arms, avoiding my gaze. "I don't know. Maybe he's just a weirdo," she muttered. "I didn't invite him, if that's what you're implying. Maybe he was lost and checking if this was the right place." That explanation didn't add up. He knew it was our anniversary and brought gifts perfectly suited for the occasion. If he was lost, why call her darling and say she fit the description? My instincts screamed she was lying. I pressed, "Why did he say catch you later like your buddies? And why did you look so guilty when you opened the door?" Tears welled in her eyes, but she got defensive. She snapped, "I can't control what some creepy delivery guy says. I was just surprised, okay? Drop it. Let's go back to the party." I knew pushing further would escalate things in front of the kids, so I reluctantly agreed to let it go for the moment. The rest of the evening was painfully awkward. I was quiet and tense. My wife acted like everything was fine, but was clearly shaken, and the kids picked up on the weird vibe. We ended the celebration early. I didn't touch the wine. It felt tainted. After the kids went to bed, I confronted my wife again privately. I told her I didn't buy her story. The coincidences? A delivery guy showing up at our anniversary with perfect gifts, knowing to say, "Happy Anniversary," using pet names and acting overly familiar were too much. Either this guy was the boldest creep alive, or there was something between them. She stuck to her story, insisting he was just an overly friendly driver, possibly drunk or mistaken. She accused me of overreacting and ruining our anniversary by doubting her. Then she flipped it, getting upset at me for interrogating her on a special day. She was crying, claiming I was spoiling everything and accusing her of awful things. I felt like I was losing my mind. I slept on the couch that night, too hurt and angry to share a bed. The next morning, while she was still asleep, I decided to get answers for my peace of mind. I recalled the logo on the man's shirt. It was from a local delivery service. So, I did something sneaky. I called the company, pretending to ask about a delivery mix-up at our address the previous night. After some back and forth, a manager confirmed they had no record of a delivery to our home that day. The flowers and wine weren't from their system. This guy wasn't a random courier. The gifts were intentional, and my wife knew about them. She rushed to the door, after all. I confronted her with this as soon as she woke up. I expected more excuses, but she broke down. At first, she tried claiming it was a different service or a private courier. When I said I wasn't buying it, she admitted part of the truth. She confessed the man was a co-worker she knew. She claimed she'd asked him to drop off the gifts as a sweet surprise for our anniversary, thinking it would be fun and harmless. I was floored. How was having a guy call her darling and beautiful lady in front of our kids supposed to be fun? I asked. She backtracked, saying she didn't expect him to say those things and that he must have misunderstood the plan. It didn't take long for the full truth to spill out. I asked if this was the same guy she'd been texting constantly lately. I'd noticed her being secretive with her phone for months, which I'd naively attributed to privacy or planning something for me. I was half right. It was a surprise, just not a good one. She went silent and started sobbing. That confirmed it. She admitted she and this man, let's call him Mark, had grown close over months at work. It started as a friendship, then became flirtatious. I asked directly if she was having an affair. She insisted it hadn't gotten physical yet, but admitted she was confused about her feelings. They'd been texting and calling outside work, clearly crossing into emotional cheating, if not more. I was livid and heartbroken. I demanded to know why she'd invite him to our anniversary. Her answer stunned me. She wanted to see us both together to compare. In her twisted reasoning, she thought seeing Mark and me side by side would clarify her feelings. She admitted part of her wanted me to notice and fight for her, thinking it might reignite our spark. I was speechless. My wife had orchestrated a bizarre test in our home, on our anniversary, using her affair partner as bait to see if I'd get jealous or prove myself. I was done. Something broke inside me. I told her there was nothing to fight for if she didn't already value our family over some fling. I was appalled she'd involved our kids by bringing this man into our home, letting them hear his inappropriate comments. She sobbed harder, apologizing and saying she loved me and the kids, begging me not to decide anything rashly. But to me, this wasn't rash. It was crystal clear. I told her I was filing for divorce immediately. If Mark was so great, she could go to him, but I wouldn't stay with someone who'd humiliate me like this. She kept saying I was overreacting and should give her a chance to fix things. Fix what? She deliberately invited her affair partner to our anniversary. That's not a mistake. It's a calculated betrayal. I packed a bag that morning and took the kids to my brother's place. I needed space, and the kids didn't need to be around that tension. I explained calmly to them that Mom and Dad had a serious fight and needed time apart. I didn't badmouth their mother, but I think my daughter suspects something major happened. She later texted her mom and got some vague explanation. I filed for divorce the next business day. I didn't wait to cool off because this wasn't impulsive. It was a response to unforgivable betrayal. Now, some people in my life think I acted too fast. My mother, who loves my wife, was shocked and said she understands I'm hurt, but marriage is about weathering storms, and maybe this was just an emotional slip we could overcome with counseling. A few mutual friends were surprised I filed so quickly, suggesting I might be overreacting or that it was a prank gone wrong. That excuse infuriates me, because it's exactly what my wife has been telling people. She's claiming it was all a misunderstanding, but I know better. I've filed the papers. I'm staying at my brother's with the kids, and I'm trying to stay strong for them. My wife, soon-to-be ex, keeps texting, alternating between apologies and accusing me of abandoning our family. It's manipulative, and I'm not engaging beyond kid-related or legal matters. I'm furious, hurt, but trying to stay civil for our children. Was I wrong to file for divorce so quickly instead of trying to salvage things, as some suggest? After she invited her affair partner to our anniversary to compare us? Update. One, thank you all for the overwhelming support and clarity in your responses. The consensus is that I'm not in the wrong, and your perspectives have reinforced my decision. It's been about 2 weeks since my initial post. and a lot has unfolded. Unfortunately, my wife, now my soon-to-be ex, STBX, has been spinning a false narrative to save face. She's been telling everyone I misunderstood the anniversary incident. According to her, the man was a confused delivery driver who got the wrong address, and I overreacted to a harmless comment. She's framing it as if a random guy showed up, maybe made a flirty joke, and I blew it out of proportion, deciding to divorce her over nothing. I learned this when my mother-in-law called, concerned and slightly accusatory, asking why I was breaking up our family over a mix-up with a delivery person. I was stunned and asked what my wife had told her. Apparently, my STBX claimed the guy was delivering a gift, got the wrong house, and made a silly comment like, "Oops, sorry darling, wrong address," and that I overreacted. She conveniently omitted that she knew him and invited him, not to mention his "beautiful lady" comment. I calmly told my mother-in-law the truth. The man was her affair partner, deliberately invited to our home. I shared what he said in front of me and the kids. She went silent, clearly heartbroken, and apologized on her daughter's behalf. It was surreal, her apologizing for my wife. I'm furious my wife put us in this position. She's told her parents and some mutual friends this lie, claiming I overreacted. 2 friends even suggested over coffee that I might be rushing into divorce, saying it could have been a botched surprise or prank. I set them straight. She cheated, invited the guy to our home. There's no misunderstanding. She's trying to paint me as an irrational, jealous husband who ended our marriage over a misheard word. She's gaslighting everyone. But I have proof of what happened. I don't care about convincing everyone, but I want key people, like our families, to know the truth, especially for the kids' sake. Speaking of the kids, they're doing okay, considering. We've shielded them from the drama as much as possible, but they're perceptive. My daughter doesn't buy her mom's story at all. My STBX tried telling the kids the same lie about a lost delivery guy, but my 13-year-old called her out. She told her mom she heard the darling and beautiful lady comments and knew he wasn't just lost. She even said, "Mom, do you think I'm dumb?" Delivery guys don't talk like that. My STBX texted me angrily, saying our daughter was rude and turning against her. I hugged my daughter and told her I'm proud of her for trusting her gut. My 10-year-old is more sheltered from this. He's confused but senses something's off. I'm back at our house with the kids now, and my wife is staying with a coworker friend. We're doing an informal week-on, week-off custody arrangement until the court decides something formal. She stays at the house during her week, and I go to my brother's. It's tense, but we're keeping things stable for the kids. Legally, she's been served the divorce papers. She's furious, texting me between accusations of giving up too easily and pleas to reconsider. I told her the time for talking was before she pulled this stunt. I'm only communicating about the kids and legal matters. Emotionally, it's been tough. The initial anger has faded into sadness and disbelief that this is our reality. But when I doubt if I was too hasty, I remember that night and her orchestration of it. Her lies to everyone confirm I made the right choice. She's more focused on her image than fixing her betrayal. I'm just trying to move forward while she spins tales about a lost delivery guy. Update 2. A few days after my last update, I had a direct encounter with Mark, the affair partner. It was partly by chance and partly because I wanted answers. Here's what went down. I was at a local bar with friends, and there was Mark, playing pool with some guys. My heart raced when I saw him. My friends noticed, and I told them who he was. One friend was ready to confront him, but I stopped him. No need for a fight. Instead, I decided to talk to Mark calmly, but I was strategic. I started recording on my phone, wanting everything documented after all the lies. I approached him at the pool table, and my other friend followed in case things escalated. Mark recognized me and looked nervous but didn't bolt. I said, "Can we talk for a minute?" He nodded and followed me to a quieter spot by the bar. He started with, "I don't want any trouble, man." I said I didn't either. I just wanted the truth. I told him, "I know my wife invited you to our house. I know something's going on. Just tell me straight." Maybe it was the drinks or just exhaustion, but Mark spilled everything. I recorded it all. He confirmed my wife invited him to our casual anniversary gathering. Her story about a lost driver? Total nonsense. He said she told him we were practically done, like we were separated or she was leaving. He thought I knew she had someone else or that we had an open setup. I almost laughed bitterly. An open setup? She'd painted us as nearly divorced to justify her actions. He admitted the pet names were a stupid spur-of-the-moment thing and apologized, saying he didn't realize the kids were there. "The biggest bombshell?" I asked. "So, she invited you to our house, expecting me to see you, and told you she was ending our marriage?" He said, "Yeah. She said she wanted me there to give her confidence to talk to you and end it. She said you two were basically over. I'm sorry, man." That sorry came with a shrug, like he didn't know what else to say. I didn't feel like hitting him. I felt relief mixed with rage and grief. I thanked him for being honest, saying, "I hate what you did with my wife, but she's the one who owed me loyalty. At least you're owning it." He seemed surprised by my calm. He said he felt bad and was shocked I filed for divorce so fast, as my wife had made me out to be a neglectful husband. The talk lasted 10 to 15 minutes. I walked back to my friends, still recording, and showed them. They were floored. One gave me a hug and said, "At least you've got the truth, even if it hurts." I sent the recording to my lawyer for potential use in the divorce and custody case. I also shared key parts with my in-laws, keeping it civil. They were heartbroken and apologized for their daughter's actions, supporting me and the kids. I haven't told my STBX about the recording yet. She's still pushing her nothing happened story and begging me to reconsider, but I'm done. I'm focusing on my kids and the divorce. The truth vindicates me, but it's also crushing. The woman I spent 15 years with is a stranger now, lying to cover her lies. I'm keeping the kids out of the affair details, just reassuring them we both love them, but Mom broke Dad's trust. They understand on their level, especially my daughter. Final update, I wish I could say things calmed down, but there was one more painful incident, this time involving the kids directly, and it's deeply damaged their relationship with their mother. During one of her custody days, my wife decided to clear the air with the kids, her way. My daughter, distraught, told me what happened. At my wife's apartment, she sat them down and told them Daddy was unkind to Mommy, and the divorce and separation were because I wasn't nice to her. She said, "Daddy's been mean, and Mommy has a friend from work who's kinder and wants Mommy to be happy." Yes, she tried to justify her affair to our 13 and 10-year-olds by blaming me. My daughter was furious. She told her mom to stop, saying, "We know you lied. We know that friend was the guy at the party. If he's so great, go be with him, but don't expect us to like him or believe you. Don't lie about Dad. He's not mean. We saw what happened." My wife tried to hug her, saying she didn't understand, but my daughter pulled away, saying, "No, you don't understand. You hurt Dad and us. This is your fault." My 10-year-old was so upset hearing her badmouth me that he refused to engage. He said, "I want to go to Dad's now." When she tried to make him stay, he started packing his bag. I got a barrage of texts from my wife that evening, which I missed until later. She claimed I'd turned the kids against her and asked to drop them off since they wouldn't talk to her. My daughter had already called my brother, who picked them up and brought them to me. When they got home, both were angry and upset. I comforted them, saying I love them and I'm sorry they went through that. I explained their mom is struggling with her mistakes and said unfair things. I told them it's okay to love her, and I'll support their relationship with her, but they don't have to accept lies or mistreatment, even from a parent. Since then, the kids haven't wanted to go to her place during her custody time. We've adjusted so she visits them at our house under my supervision, but those visits are short and tense. The kids tolerate her briefly before withdrawing. It's clear they've lost respect for her. My wife begged me to help fix her relationship with them, but I told her that's on her. I'll encourage basic respect, but I won't force them to ignore what they experienced. She tried blaming me for turning them against her, but she did this herself. I've shielded them from the worst, and they figured out much on their own. My priority is ensuring the kids feel safe and loved. They're in therapy to process this, and I'm in therapy too. It's helping. The divorce is final now after 8 months. I have no regrets about ending it immediately. Every event since has confirmed I was right. My kids and I are okay, with a long healing road ahead, but we're united. My ex made her choices, and I hope she finds what she wanted, but that's not my concern anymore. Thanks to everyone who followed our story. I'm signing off now, hopefully for good. Oh, and no, she and Mark didn't end up together. I heard he backed off thinking it was too messy. All that chaos for nothing. What a waste.